Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are in Detroit, Michigan at one of the Lyft offices, and we are here with Josh Shortstack Robinson, who's fighting for the Ohio Cage Combat Flyweight Championship to all you MMA fans out there. How you doing, Josh?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. Tell us a little bit about where you're from.
From Toledo, Ohio, and pretty much the whole Northwest Ohio area.
All right. What got you into cage fighting?
Competitive. I just had a competitive edge outside of high school wrestling and didn't have anything to do with it. So I found somebody who trains and got into it like that.
Nice. All right, Josh. Before we get into the heart of the interview, a lot of your fans are always asking the same question: where did you get the nickname Shortstack from?
Comes from a previous job. I used to just always, we'd be out of town and I would always be ordering pancakes and waffles, and one of the guys thought it'd be funny to call me Short Stack since I'm little, and it stuck.
All right. Josh, what's the name of the gym you train out of, and are there any other professional fighters that train there with you?
I train out at Toledo Grappling Academy, the former 360 Mixed Martial Arts. We have a couple pros. I'm not going to mention them all, but Kevin Hijioka is one of them. He's an awesome featherweight fighter.
Okay. Josh, can you tell us a little bit about your training, but not too much?
I can tell you I'm training hard. I can tell you I will have cardio to go 5 rounds or more, and I won't need the breaks that I'm given, so that I'll be able to go even harder in the next round.
Okay. Is there a certain key group of guys that you tend to train with to get you ready for a particular fight?
Not really. For this one, I've gone a little different. I'm doing a lot of cross training with a lot of different people, so I get different looks. Because my opponent is an unorthodox striker. He throws a lot of big looping punches, a lot of overhand rights while he's shooting. So it's very hard to imitate that with just a few people. So when you train with other people that actually fight like that, it makes it a little easier, and I won't get stale and know the people I'm sparring with on a daily basis. It's always something new, so I'm always on my toes.
Okay. Explain to me Jose Martinez's famous move where he's won many Naga tournaments with, his panting move called the burrito. Can you explain that to me?
Kind of hard to explain. It's what he does is it's almost like a 10-finger choke. It's like your head is in front of his body with a guillotine. He locks his hands up under your Adam's apple, and he uses his chest to pin your head in one spot.
Oh.
And as he does that, he turns his arms and lifts his hands and his wrists into your trachea, pretty much choking you. It can put you to sleep pretty quick, and it's extremely painful.
Man, sounds like it. Can you tell the fans a little bit about your background as far as what you've trained in over the years?
I started out biddy as a kid, biddy wrestling as a child, and picked up wrestling again in high school. And between then, I was trained in martial arts, some karate, a little bit of kung fu. And then once I started training mixed martial arts, I trained under the late Carlos Cansado, an amazing man. He's recently passed. And now I'm training my stand-up with Clint Smith out of Evo MMA and Hess MMA. And I'm also doing my jiu-jitsu and wrestling with Brandon Copeland, the Gorilla, and Jose Martinez.
All right. Now, Josh, there's a few rumors floating around in the MMA world about you, that this is your last fight. Also, I've heard that this was your last fight in Ohio. Can you clear this up for us?
It's not my last fight by far. I'm way too close to achieving my goals. I'm starting to get looks from the people I want the looks from. So this is not my last fight in Ohio. I'm just going to pick and choose my fights a little more carefully. I want to take higher level opponents. I'm going to be taking fights that will further my career at a faster pace, more or less.
Okay. All right, now, Josh, this is a few-part question. From your walking around weight to cutting weight to fight day weight, how big of a role does this play in your body and your performance while in the cage?
Well, I walk around, honestly, between 150 and 155 pounds. Not lean in any way. It's a soft weight, so it's pretty easy to cut. This is only my second time cutting to flyweight, so it's the most weight I've ever cut. But I've also had a lot of time to cut this weight, so getting ready, I would say, really isn't taking that much on me. I mean, I'm definitely sore, and I can feel it a little more than what I used to do, because I used to not have to really worry about cutting weight when I would cut to bantamweight, because I was only 10 to 15 pounds overweight anytime. And now I have to be more serious about my diet, and then my fight day weight, I just have to be more more strict about what I eat after I weigh in, and not go out and eat the stuff I like to eat until after I fight, like my pizza and my Oreos.
Okay. Josh, who do you feel was your toughest opponent so far, and why?
Every opponent is tough in one way or another. I would have to say Dustin Ortiz was my toughest just because of the mental edge of him having all the publicity behind him and how he was supposed to just destroy me and get his shot at the UFC after he destroyed me. It was pretty hard to overcome that on 2 weeks, but any fighter can overcome anything at any time, and that's what I did.
All right, good job. Who in the league or organization that you've been a part of in the past would you want to fight again?
If I could pick one guy to fight again and he could get to my weight, it would be Mike Roberts, just because he was so disrespectful after we fought. He didn't know what I had going on going into the fight. I didn't know what he had going on going into the fight. We both had personal things going on. I had an injury, and he was very disrespectful, not only to me, but to my fans, the promoter of the show, my friends, and my family as well.
All right. All right, Josh. Who do you think in UFC do you most resemble?
That's a good question. I would say I don't resemble anybody. I mean, I'm my own fighter. I try to do my own thing, but with my appearance and what I do with my hair and my colors, a lot of people refer to me as Little Lieben. I definitely don't fight like him. I have more technique in my striking, and I'm more comfortable when I hit my back. Nothing against Chris Lieben, but that's just me. I think I resemble me. I don't try to imitate or mock any other fighter. I just go out there and I be me and I play me.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel that MMA has become too overpopularized?
I believe it's oversaturated, not overpopularized. I believe there are too many shows and people are getting bored with the sport because it's on so much. I think we need to go back to maybe one fight a month, UFC, and a couple shows maybe, and that's it. And kind of keep it at bay. Supply and demand, deal with it.
Okay. Josh, how do you picture the outcome of your upcoming fight?
My first ideal finish is going to be a knockout or a TKO. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to knock him out or TKO him. He's a tough guy, and he can definitely take a beating, and he's a good wrestler, so if he does get me down, I do feel I can submit him.
Okay. Josh, where can people find your upcoming fight at, and how can they go about getting some tickets?
It's in Toledo, Ohio at St. Clements Hall. Tickets are $20 and $35 through the Ohio Cage Combat Facebook. If you search Ohio Cage as the first name and Combat as the second name, and then you can send them a message or write on their wall and ask them where they can pick up tickets.
Alrighty, well, Short Stack, that is the entire interview. Is there anything else that you'd like to say in closing out the interview?
I just want to thank everybody who supports me and comes out and watches me fight. I want to thank my fiance for putting up with me while I'm cutting weight. I'm not the biggest gem when it comes to cutting weight. I get pretty mean sometimes, but she takes it all in stride. She understands and she supports me in my goals. I want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank Body Design Tattoos. I want to thank Team Lift. They've been with me from the beginning, and they're just awesome. Love their clothes. I just love what they're about, and they're good people.
All right, again, Josh, thanks again for everything you've done for the sport, and it was a pleasure following you your entire career, and I'm sure we'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're here at a Lyft office in Detroit, Michigan. We're here with Josh Shortstack Robinson, the 135-pound Ohio Cage Combat professional MMA fighter to all you MMA fans out there. Josh, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm 125 pound, but I recently cut weight. Just keep going.
Motherfucker.
Re-recording, just edit that out.
I gotta restart it over now.
Motherfucker.
I always remembered you at 35, that's why I said that.
Yeah. Recent former.
Are you the recent 125 champ?
I'm fighting for the 25 belt. I've recently.
You were the recent what champ though?
35.
35, okay. To all you MMA fans out there. Alright, Josh, tell us, oops.
Before we get into the interview.
Hold on, Josh, tell us where you're from and what got you into cage fighting is going to be the question, okay? So we're just going to start over from scratch right now.
I thought the nickname one was first.
I added a couple more before I came out here.
Oh.
Do you feel that MMA has become too overpopularized?
I don't think it can be too overpopularized. popularized. I don't think it can become too over popularized.